Can I get that flag for the mayor?
I don't have
All
it.
right, so we're gonna ask everybody if they can come closer, if you can move up. 1 second, we're just getting the horses in place. Thank you, Passaic County Sheriff's officers. Thank you so much. And we're gonna invite everyone to come closer.
Turn around and take a picture of the crowd too.
Yeah.
South.
South Valley.
Oh my God.
We're going to be celebrating the Karachay flag. And someone said I said it right. It's a little practice there. It's a little practice. At this time, please put your hands together for our Mayor Andre Say.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Sal delegates. Did I get that right? Yes. I'm so used to Hosh Gelmanis, but they told me not to say that. So we're making history here, ladies and gentlemen. For this first time, we're going to be raising the Karachay flag at City Hall in the city of Patterson. And I'm so proud of our Karachay population. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about the Caucasus Mountains and the fact that Karachay are considered mountaineers. And that you guess, yalla, Zetfu, I mean in Arabic it's what? Taulu. Yes, yes.
Taulu millet.
He literally just told me that, right? But nevertheless, I'm very impressed with this flag because it does speak to where you came from. The mountains. The Caucasus Mountains, the original Caucasian people, yes. Speaking Karachay and Turkic, yes? And so, at this time I want to present to you a gentleman who's been chomping at the bit. No, we want to go with you first. Young man who came to my office not too long ago said, look, we have a lot of pride in our community. We've been in Patterson. We've been contributing to our community. We want to be heard and we want our flag to be flown at City Hall. And that is our commissioner from the Friends of Patterson Parks, Murat Baichora. Did I say that right?
Welcome everybody. It's a historic day for the Karachays in America. And I think it might be the first time anywhere in the world that we're raising a Karachay flag. From what Ali told me, even in Kafkas, they don't let Karachays put up the flag in front of the municipal building. So this is a great honor for them to let us raise the Karachay flag. And I don't want to take up too much of anyone's time. I'd like to thank the city and Andre for letting us raise the Karachay flag. And I think now I'll give it over to Ali Totorgo, president of ACBA. Assalamu alaikum. Dear Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
the council members, guests, and beloved Karachay community, I salute all of you in this blessed day of Friday for this beautiful occasion. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
It is a great honor for me and a pleasure to be here as the president of ACBA, the American Karachay Benevolent Association. Today we gather here to celebrate the revival day of the Karachay people. The Karachays are an indigenous nation of the Northern Caucasus. We lived there for centuries, but unfortunately, just like any other nations around the world, we had our trials and tribulations. In November 1943, we were forced to leave our homeland and spent 14 years in the Middle Asia and Siberia's labor camps. Yes, that's a former Soviet Union. However, by the grace of the God Almighty, on May 3rd, 1957, we came back to our homeland, to our ancestral land, and we're here to celebrate that day. The first Karachay immigrant families moved to the United States, particularly Patterson, New Jersey, in the past century in 1960s. Being a hardworking and family-oriented, the Karachay community contributed in many fields and grown to around 300 households around Paris and New Jersey. And we're proud to call this great city, Paris, our hometown. Today's event wouldn't happen without the support of our mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the Mayor Saya and his staff. I want to thank him from all of us. And now, if you allow me, I would like to say a few words in my mother tongue.
Please.
Bağalı geçle karnaşla, sildi cemaat. Bek sağ olun. Bugün kelgenizge bayağı. Allah razı olsun barınızdan da. Kuruda ilgilikliye, kuvançlığa cürürge Allah nasip etsin barınızdan bundan ara.
Amin.
Kuvançlığa cürür külleriz köp olsunlar.
Amin.
Karachay milletinde bir iki söz vardı. İki sözleri köptü da alanın içinde budur. Birlikte tirilikteydi. Allah bir olayık, tri olayık.
Amin.
Bundan arı burada Allah jürüyük Allah etsin. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank everyone for your support. In particular you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much. God bless all. Thank you. As the next speaker, I would like to invite Anisa Sibilis-Bek. She attended Patterson Public Schools, and currently she is third-year student at the George Washington University, where she studies international affairs and security policy. Please welcome Anisa. Where is she?
I would ask my mother to tell me a story before I went to sleep. She never started with once upon a time. Once upon a time implies a story to not be true, and what she told me was the absolute truth. I know this to be the case because it came from primary sources, testimonies of my people and members of my own family. The story my mother told me was a tragedy, but it was also a story of hope, bravery, perseverance, and above all, faith. It also has a happy ending. My standing before you and our meeting today is proof of that. This is the story that I will be sharing with you now. Like any story worth telling, it begins with a place and a people. Nestled between the mountains of the Caucasus at the foot of a dormant volcano called Mount Elbrus, lived the Karachay. Along with their sister people, the Balkad, they comprise one of the most ancient groups in the region. Alongside their Muslim faith, they abide by a code of honor called the Özden Adet, which, like Islam, values respect to elders, bravery, selflessness, and loyalty to one's family and community. And, despite the cold of their climate, the Karachays are renowned for the warmth of their hospitality. In 1943, this became a part of their undoing. Come September of that year, 60,000 NKVD troops, members of Stalin's secret police, appeared throughout Karachay, posing as Soviet soldiers on leave from combat. Instead of becoming suspicious, the Karachays welcomed the soldiers into their homes. However, instead of being met with gratitude, they were met with betrayal. On the 2nd of November, in the cold twilight, the NKVD soldiers surrounded the Karachay villages, forcing people into trucks at gunpoint, at machine gun point. They were charged with treason against the Soviet Union and given 1 hour to gather some possessions for departure. To where? Many didn't know. A fortunate few were told by the officers to take warm clothing and as much food as they can carry. On that day, by the power of order number 00415, about 70,000 Karachays were torn from the arms of their motherland. As the charge of treason came while the majority of young men were fighting the Nazis at the front, the remaining women, children, and elders had little means of resisting this injustice. 50% of the deportees were children under the age of 16, among them my grandfather and his siblings. The Karachays were then loaded into cattle cars with up to 90 people in a single unit, and by the time they left, they could hear their animals crying to be fed. Days would pass before the compartment doors would open again. While the train moved on, the cries of mothers and children filled the cars. In an attempt to calm those around him, one elder spoke up. He said, "Korkmagız, Allah bizni Allah bolmagan yerge etkalıp tünde." Do not fear. They cannot take us to a place where God will not be with us. Without access to food, water, or any way to hygienically relieve themselves, the elderly and weaker passengers began to die. Whenever the car doors opened, people were forced to leave their dead beside the tracks, foregoing the funeral prayer and burial that our religion demands. Many died on this trip, with less than 1 in 3 Karachays possessing any food by the time they reached their destination. Arriving in different republics across Soviet Central Asia, the Karachays were placed into special settlements, forbidden from leaving the perimeter without explicit permission, by risk of sentence to labor camps or punishment of death. And children were no exception to this. One report tells of a 4-year-old girl being shot and killed by a guard for crossing district lines to take an apple from an orchard. The guard shooting her father when he ran to the scene as well. When his relatives petitioned this, one official replied, "It's too bad the guard didn't just shoot you all." And this was just one of many cases. From their first days in Central Asia, the Karachays were forced to complete grueling manual labor, with women and children comprising the majority of the workforce. Besides the inhumanity of the Soviet guards, the peoples of Central Asia treated Karachays with cruelty when they first met them too. Having been told these newcomers were Nazi collaborators, they referred to them as bandits and cannibals, letting them die of starvation and disease without remorse. However, as Karachays showed the true nature of their character through their patriotism and hard work, they moved into positions of greater authority as physicists, doctors, and educators. In 1957, Kazakh and Kyrgyz authorities even offered the Karachays autonomous regions within their borders if they agreed to stay, the Karachays being the only group to receive such a proposition. But there are no autonomous Karachay regions in these countries today. Despite their 14 years of close separation from their homeland, the Karachays never stopped their longing for it. After Stalin's death in 1953, Nikita Khrushchev allowed the Karachay people to return to the Caucasus, and most did, kissing the stones of their motherland as they came. But this was only one avenue of our people's journey. During the Second World War, a group of Karachay families escaped as refugees. They too left with the intention of returning to their homeland one day. During the Yalta Conference in 1945, Stalin stipulated to Roosevelt and Churchill that all Soviet citizens in Europe must be repatriated to the USSR. This understanding became a horrific nightmare for the Karachay refugees in Austria and Italy. Immediately, some fled to the mountains and forests. Others were captured by British and American soldiers and sent back to the Soviet Union. This was a tragedy that separated husband from wife, mother from child, and brother from sister. When the war was finally over, the refugees still couldn't return to their homeland as it was occupied by other groups that Stalin favored. It was then Turkey extended its hand offering asylum to Karachay refugees. Many went to Turkey knowing that Karachays had settled there in the late 1880s and early 1900s. These villages welcomed their kinsmen with open arms and helped them to settle alongside themselves. The refugees that remained in Germany immigrated to the United States in the 1950s. There were 16 families who came from Germany and 4 from Turkey who decided to set down roots in Patterson, a deep bond established between them. In the 1960s, there was a great influx of Karachay refugees from Turkey. These waves of immigration continuing into the 1970s and 80s into present day, with many immigrants from the Caucasus joining our community here as well. My mother and father are both from among these waves of immigrants. Across generations of Karachays in New Jersey, parents always emphasized the importance of hard work and education for their children, just as mine did for me. Furthermore, the people of our community have always been active citizens, using their right to vote with gratitude. And many Karachays have succeeded in this land of opportunity, with Patterson being such a central part of their American dreams. In fact, Patterson continues to be a part of the American dreams of Karachays around the world. Whenever I meet a fellow Karachay abroad and they ask me where I grew up, I can barely get the words United States out before they ask me if I'm from Patterson. To them and to our community here, this city is and always has been a cause for joy and excitement. Going to the American Karachay Benevolent Association, our community center, right here on Crooks Avenue, was always the highlight of my week growing up as a child in Patterson. Remember how I said this story had a happy ending? Well, that's not exactly true because this story isn't over. The rest of it is up to me, you, and everyone else gathered here. Looking to our people's past on this joyous occasion, we can draw inspiration from their determination, their perseverance, and their unwavering faith. Our people, sentenced to oblivion, refuse to be erased from history, and we will never forget them.
Okay.
We, the Karachays, are still here, together and stronger than ever. And as we say in Karachay, birlikte, birlikte,
Hey, Aman.
together we are strong. I ask God to protect my people and the city that they have called their home for so long. Amen. Thank
Amen.
you.
I like this fact. These two are original Karachays that came from there that lived what you just said.
Yes,
That's
yes.
why they lived this.
Yes,
That original
a round of
Karachays
applause
in
for the older ladies. Thank you, Anissa. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Cengiz Çagar, who was his mother and father, 3 siblings, came to the United States and made his home in the Patterson in 1963. Mr. Çagar attended school number 8 and 9 and graduated from John F. Kennedy High School in 1970. He went on and he earned his bachelor's degree from Rutgers University in Newark. He continued his higher education in Columbia University and earned master's degree in Schools of International Affairs in 1978. Mr. Çagar's professional career in international banking after his graduation and went over 20 years in banking and then another 20 years in risk management, so 40 years of experience in the financial sector. He is now retired and during his vacation he liked to visit our homeland regularly. Everybody welcome Mr. Çagar.
Honorable Mayor Andre Saye, Honorable City of Patterson Council members, Honorable law enforcement officers, and dear guests. On behalf of the Karachay American community, we want to express our gratitude for your support in this important first time of raising the Karachay flag here in the historic city of Patterson, New Jersey. We hope that this ceremony will be the first of many future celebrations. I want to take this opportunity to also share you my name as I was introduced as Cengiz Çagar. I am a regular visitor of City of Patterson while I do live outside. Our activities, our friends, our extended families are all here in this wonderful city. During 1966 to 1970, I was in front of this wonderful building, right over there, waiting for a bus that I took from Madison Avenue all the way down to Market Street and then I would take another bus to John F. Kennedy High School on Prentice Avenue. We as a family came to the United States in 1963 and joined the other members of the Karachay community who had emigrated to the United States and settled in Patterson. I attended school number 8, school number 9, and John F. Kennedy High School, graduating in 1970. Our small community of Karachay families had settled in and around East 19th and East 21st Street and Park Avenue. The area was referred to as Karachay Street. At this period of time, our community of Karachay families was around 37 to 40 families. These families were all refugees from the former USSR. Today, our community has grown and we estimate that our family numbers is close to 300 families. All of these families were from the Karachay-Cherkess region of Northern Caucasus Mountains. The tallest mountain in the European region is located in Karachay and is known in our native language as Mingi Tal, and is known in the international arena as Elbrus Mountain. Prior to coming to the United States, most of these families have made new homes, lives in the Republic of Turkey. Some of our other members settled in Germany. Some of our other members traveled to Australia. So today we have a Karachay diaspora. Thank you, Mayor Sayegh. Mayor Sayegh and I, we are a product of the same graduate school, Columbia University, and from the same class. Different years. He's much younger than myself.
Maybe 2 years.
With the assistance of the Tolstoy Foundation, all these families were able to resettle in the United States. A very large percentage of these families settled in the city of Patterson. Some of our families also settled in Connecticut and along the east coast of the United States. I would like to take a few more minutes to talk about how this group of immigrants helped shape the great fabric of the city of Patterson. When I was preparing the speech, I asked myself what would be the key points I could raise during this time. I initially took some notes and made the following highlights to help illustrate the contribution of the Karachay community to the city of Patterson. Firstly, the Karachay community was the first Muslim community to establish the first mosque in the northeast corridor of the United States of America. It was opened on 32 Chestnut Street. And to this day, this lot is still operating with active membership of some 200 families. Secondly, the Karachay people were also the leading community to establish the second mosque on Knickerbocker Avenue in South Patterson. Third, and very important, our community was the first to introduce the halal meat to the greater Muslim community in the northeast corridor of the United States. Our community members opened the first halal processing plant in the Riverside section of Patterson, and today this business is still very active in providing halal meat to the greater tri-state region. Fourthly, and also very important in my opinion, our Karachay community was the leading force in the development of the South Patterson business district. A number of halal meat markets, along with key gasoline stations in this community, was owned and operated by the Karachay community in today's vibrant Business District of South Karachay. On the fifth point, the academic, public sector, and sports achievements and military sector achievements of our community members. Our community has raised a number of key individuals who have excelled in the academic sector as teachers, professors, lawyers, attorneys in the public prosecutor's office. In the international sector, we also have a high-ranking diplomat and an international banker. In our community, a number of our young men and women have served with honor and distinction, including a current member of the Army's Black Hawk Pilots Program. On the sixth point, our community has always been active in the law enforcement sector. The first Muslim chief of police in the entire United States of America was appointed here in the city with the support of our Honorable Mayor Syed. Today, we have a number of members of our community on the law enforcement sector in New Jersey. Finally, seventh and the final point, I also want to discuss the achievements of our young athletes in the high school, college, and professional sports. I spent a number of years in high school at John F. Kennedy, 1966 to 1970. During these years, John F. Kennedy High School was the dominant soccer team in the Passaic Valley Conference. Our community had a number of all-conference and all-state players. Our community also had a number of excellent wrestlers who achieved many honors for their skills which they displayed on the wrestling mat. I also want to point out that the captain of the USA Summer Olympic was from our community. Today he is standing among us, and I won't name him, but you should all know that this significant achievement to be the captain of the Olympic USA soccer team is a significant achievement. This young man developed his soccer skills dribbling the balls on East 19th and East 21st Street, running around with his two other brothers who also were accomplished players. This young man, member of our community, also continued to play professional soccer during the 1980s when soccer was just being introduced to the United States market. We are proud to be here, and once again, thank the Honorable Mayor, the City Council, in providing this opportunity for our Karachay community. We hope to see you all next time. Thank you very much.
Yes. Ah, yeah, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our national hat, and it is worn primarily on special occasions. And this is indeed a very special occasion for all of us, and hopefully all of you one day, and our young men that are, and the Chigi who are among us today, will one day stand up here and wear a hat in a similar presentation. Thank you.
I'd like to wear that hat one day. That's a little too big. I also want to acknowledge he made reference to soccer and the Karachay contribution, especially at Kennedy High School. And I have to admit, I don't know much about the sport, but I do know that we have Kazbek Tambe, who is the captain of the New York Cosmos. I went to one game. I think you were playing, and Pele was too. Is that true? Maybe, he said. There you go. So without any further ado, I think we have a special performance. And while they perform the national anthem, I'm going to ask the individuals here on the dais to join me as we, for the first time in the history of Patterson, raise the Karachay flag.
So for the flag raising ceremony, we're inviting Hamza Bolur. He's gonna perform one of the oldest and well-known songs in Karachay, written by Ismail Semyonov, Mingitao.
Selamun Aleyküm değerli cemaat. Barınızda sağlık eliniz. Allah bunlar kıvanç günlerimizni köpten köbesin.
Amin.
Allah halkımızı beş bin adam sanı köbesin.
Amin.
İnşallah kelinle layık köyüne çıkarayık. Allah barınızda razı olsun. Allah bu günlerimizge yaşapkanlığa da her iki dünyada da tınçlık vermesin. Alay olmasa Kafkas'ta kartatalarımızın yerinde Mavusakat'ta kimimiz Türkiye, kimimiz Amerika, kimimiz Avrupa ketmeyin alayda yaşarlık. Allah bunlar bir olup, birge olup kuvvet bulacak yaşar Allah nasip etsin.
Amin.
Bağrınızı burayla körgenimiz gibi kuandık. Allah da sizleri kuandırsın. Allah buraya gelgen sanığıza kolunuza cehanem kıyıllık. Kabır azap vermesin inşallah. Bek sağ olunuz. Endi kolumdan kelgençe ben Mingitağ'ın aytığa küreşirik mi? Allah aysa aytkanıma caratırsın, caratmasanız da ayıp etmeyiz. Allah barınızdan razı olsun. Orayda, orayda, rayda, orayda, rayda, orayda, orayda, rayda, orayda, rayda, orayda. Sen kökke yetemeyikse o atalanı içinde Mıyala gibi yıltıray Hanga buzların üstünde Çin algasan ata Çin artma senden gün bata Kimin aruca raşa Kalay seyirse tamaşa Gün arucu atı vallay Tohtamaydı boranın Yazda kışta erimeydi Üsündeki buzların Orayda, orayda, rayda Orayda, rayda, orayda Orayda, orayda, rayda Orayda, rayda, orayda Senden sonra kaysı tavdu Arolu bulabay bolgan Başı kış bolup, beli caz bolup Eteklerinde cay bolgan Senden sonra kaysı tavdu Arolu bulabay tılgan Başına bayrak takılıp Beline küren tartılgan Gögereğinde tuğay otlayla Altın bir yüzlük yiğitle Seni başına açık Allah Gögekle bilacı gitle Orayda, orayda, rayda Orayda, rayda, orayda Orayda, orayda, rayda Orayda, rayda, orayda Moskvadan kursa bayla Elif seyirge karayla Kaynap çıkan kara sularık Avrupa'la carayla Orayda, orayda, rayda Orayda, rayda, orayda Orayda, orayda, rayda Orayda, rayda, orayda Sağ olun, Allah razı olsun, Allah razı olsun. Arif arkadaşım, Allah sana kuşluk versin, pek sağ olun.
Allah razı olsun, Kozak anlaşımıza pek sağ olun. Cemaat bunları arbalağa menübüzüne mevcutlu parking vakına varıp bu zalaydan da parayı da derik biz. Ondan sonra varığızda da 6 saat inirdi, Akba'da saklayız. Pek sağ olunuz. Yusuf bana söz ver gezmeye, Yusuf bana bıraktı zaten sizge.
It's an honor to serve as Vice President of the American Karachay Benevolent Association, and it's even more of an honor to see all you Karachays here today in our flag raising ceremony. Now, being born in America, growing up Karachay in America, I'd never thought I'd see this day happen. And over the years, as we're joined by our elders, our brothers and our sisters who migrated here from all around the world, we stand here united today from all different parts of the planet in Paterson, New Jersey, to raise the flag of our people, Karachay people. Sağ olunuz, sağ geliniz. Thank you.
Bundan ara suratlığa düşebilirler, surat düşebilirsiniz. Arımla layda programımız bitti. Varız da Akba'da saklayız.